iRacing, to say the least, can be quite overwhelming at first. With such a broad interface that has so many different buttons and areas to explore, it can be confusing on where to start. Especially on the race screen, where it will show you so many different possible series, 90% of which you can't even race yet. So what should you do as a rookie joining iRacing? How do the license classes work? And how can you plan out your iRacing career to reach your goal and save you plenty money? Those are all the questions I'll be answering in today's video. So kick back, put some Formula 1 on in the background and enjoy. And while you're at it, you might as well help me reach my goal of 500 subscribers by the end of the year by smacking that big red subscribe button down below. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. So before I make a point that is definitely going to stir the pot and maybe make some people take sides down in the comments below, sorry guys, let me just get the other points out of the way. So firstly, something that so many people do when they first join iRacing is get straight on and almost instinctively decide they're going to race Formula or race Sport or Oval, but they never truly consider the other disciplines. When you're in rookies, I highly recommend giving them all a try. And yes, that does mean Dirt Oval 2, where it's almost impossible to overtake and all it seems like you're doing is drifting in a circle. As you can probably tell, I've raced it about once. Anyway, moving on, the reason you should do this is because it may open up your eyes to a type of racing you've never felt drawn to, one that you may actually end up enjoying. I found this with oval racing. Although I always thought I'd only race on the road with Formula or sports cars, I tended to actually enjoy oval racing and even dirt road for a bit of fun. So please, give them all a try. And there's no better time than when you're in rookies, with iRacing not mattering and no expectations of your driving based on class. You can really just have some fun, so why not? Now point number 2 is mostly for those looking to race the road discipline, which means sports and Formula. And this point is that even if you're looking to head down the Formula path, I highly recommend still racing the MX-5 in rookies. Obviously it's a tin top, but it has some of the most incredible racing on iRacing. If there's not too many Muppets, that is, which there are plenty in rookies, trust me. And also because it teaches you some really important fundamental racing skills. It is a nimble car with a rear end that does like to slide, but can be kept under control quite easily if you just practice. So in my opinion, whether you want to race formulas or sports, definitely spend a decent amount of your rookie time in the Mazdas. But don't feel afraid to give one of the other cars a go. And if you are to do this, the choice is between the Formula V and the Formula Ford or FF1600. Personally, I prefer the Formula Ford, but it's totally up to you. Now, the controversial point. Some people definitely may not like this, but pretty much what everyone says to new iRacers who are thrown into the rookie carnage is to simply start from the pits. Keep it safe, don't even battle people, just do what you can to get that safety rating up and to jump out of rookies. Now, I totally understand why people say this, as once you are out of rookies, the door truly opens up to you as to what you can race. However, I highly disagree. Rookies is the only time in your iRacing career where you don't have to worry about the numbers of your iRating. It's the only time you're truly free. So in my opinion, you should just go out there and race. Go out there and have fun. Enjoy it while you can, because whether you like it or not, when you get out of rookies, iRacing will probably be at the forefront of your focus. For most people, that is. It's because we as humans are built to be competitive, and there's no better way to show your skill in iRacing than having a high iRating. So please, just be patient. Don't rush the rookie experience and enjoy your time there while you can. Now, don't worry. I don't think there are going to be any more controversial points in this video. I hope not anyway, otherwise the comment section may literally turn into a war zone. Anyway, moving on. We are now going to be talking about license classes. Probably the hardest part to learn as a newcomer to iRacing. So basically, there are 2 rating types in iRacing. iRating, which goes up and down depending on where you finish in a race, and safety rating, which is affected by the incident points you get during a race. You can get incident points for a multitude of reasons. You get 1x or 1 incident for an off-track, which is when you are deemed to be out of track limits, 2x for losing control of the car or any heavy contact with another object, generally a wall or barrier, and finally the biggest amount of 4x for contact with another car. It does not matter whether this contact is your fault or not. It does not matter whether you hit them or they hit you. All that matters is that you made significant contact. If it's minor contact, it will display it as a 0x instead, which won't affect your safety rating. Now, at the end of the race, if you have had a lot of incident points, you will lose safety rating, and vice versa if you didn't get many. For most races, there is a cap of 17 incidents, and if you hit that limit, you will be disqualified. However, this varies if the race is longer than your average one, for instance, any kind of endurance racing. But how do you move up classes? Well, now that I've explained how safety rating works, I can show you a diagram and it may make more sense. As you can see here, we have all the classes lined up in the middle, and the top numbers show the safety rating you need to get instantly promoted to the next class, whilst at the bottom it shows you how much you need to get to be promoted at the end of the season. Now, to move from rookies to D class, you only need 3.0 safety rating, but from then on to get promoted from D to C and then C to B and so on, you'll need to reach 4.0 safety rating in order to be instantly promoted. Otherwise, you can aim to be 3.0 or above, and if it's like that when the season ends, you'll get promoted also. Just for reference for all you newcomers, an iRacing season lasts 12 weeks, with an added 13th week where most racing series are unranked and don't affect your ratings. Now, as you move up these classes, more cars will become available to race, as more series will open up their doors to you. And that leads me onto my third and final area of the video, planning your career path. So now that you know how licenses work, decided on a discipline you want to focus your racing on, and figured out a series you want as your end goal, it's time to plan out how you're going to get there. I'm going to give some examples shortly, but keep in mind there are so many different ways to go about it, but I'll show you the cheapest routes to get where you want to go. These examples will only be for road racing, however, as that is my area of expertise. So first example, if you wanted to focus on sports cars, and preferably wanted to end up in GT3 or even IMSA but driving a GT3, then to save you money, this is how I would go about it. Firstly, you'd obviously race the MX-5s in rookies. One, because as I said before, they teach you a lot, and two, it's the ideal foundation for a sports car career. Now when you head into D class after promotion, there are a couple ways you could go. For instance, you could buy a GT4 car, as realistically it is the stepping stone to GT3. However, that will cost you money. Another option, which was the one I took, is to use the free GR86 and race it in the GR Butt Kicker Cup series. From my experience, it is a really fun series to race in, and I've even since being in C class gone back to race it. If you do want to see those videos, I'll put the playlist in the top right corner right now. But for me, it was the logical choice, as it required no extra purchases. And as you move into C class, there is another obvious choice for saving money, the Advanced Mazda Cup. As you probably guessed from the name, it utilizes the MX-5, which means yet again you won't have to buy anything. However, a very popular choice also is the Porsche Cup, but again, you'll have to buy that. From there on, after that promotion, you are now in B class, and you can finally get your hands on that precious GT3 car you've been dying for, which is perfect, as then once you move into A class, you can race it again in the IMSA series. So basically, you can get to A class having bought only one bit of content, the GT3 car. The same, however, cannot be said for Formula racing. There are a lot less series and a lot less cars for Formula, and therefore once you get beyond D class, where you can race the Formula Ford, you will have to buy a car. In C class, I highly recommend the Super Formula Light. B class, the Super Formula, and in A class, well, put it this way, just don't waste your time buying the F1 car in A class unless you are super desperate for it. And I'll save why for other YouTubers, other content creators, or just another day, because it will take too long to explain. But anyway, so that is about it on the career plotting section. Of course, you'll want to experiment as you go, which will mean spending some money, but it is all part of the fun and the experience, I suppose. And also keep in mind, even if you get to C class without buying any cars, chances are you will want to purchase some tracks so you can race more frequently But again, that is all up to you. So those were the 3 main areas to help you guys, the iRacing beginners, get comfortable with the sim, and to aid you into getting out of rookies and to create a career at minimal costs. I will say that what I said to do in rookies and about your career path is purely my opinion. There is no fact involved, and there is no one definite way to go about it. So please take everything I say with a pinch of salt and just enjoy yourself. There's no point spending all that money on the subscription if you aren't having fun. But now, on that note, if you did find the video helpful, please leave a like, comment, and smack that subscribe button to help me reach my goal of 500 subscribers by the end of the year. Now, I'll catch you rookies out on the track.